Indravati, a common woman from India in the 20th century, Manoj Mishra.
From the 5 sacred peaks, water flows with divine grace, cascading like molten crystal under the golden sun. This pure torrents flows through the rugged slopes, each carrying icy breath of the mountains and the essence of untouched nature. As they merge, they form mighty river, cutting through the cliffs and the forest, unstoppable. With its cool mist, it energizes the spirit, and its serene melody calms the soul. This is River Indravati, pristine in purity, unstoppable in its flow, and eternal in its divine vitality. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to my Nani, my maternal grandmother, Indravati, who was born in Mishra family. I don't know the name of the village where she was born, but she was born in the Mishra family. She was one of the 7 siblings. 2 brothers, their names were Jharkhande and Chauraja. She had 4 other sisters, Parvati, Nankhaw, Indravati, forgot the 4th name. It always happens, sorry. She was married to my Nana Harihar Shukla, who was a priest and also a doctor. They lived in a small village in Uttar Pradesh near the famous city of Jaunpur. The village was called Shukul Ke Tari. What that basically means is everyone in that village had the surname Shukul. Now this lady, she gave birth to 10 kids, 5 daughters and 5 sons. Unfortunately, out of the 5 sons, she lost 4 of her sons. But she was unstoppable, like River Indravati. She went through all this tough time and she carried on. I can say that because every time I met her, I could feel the energy in her. Not just that, she also lost one of her grandkids. And her grandkid, at the time when she lost him, he was 18 years old. I still remember that tough day when I spoke to her. She was almost crying on the phone. I was in UK, but I couldn't do much for her. Indravati, her daughter, Geeta Mishra, was my mother. We lived in Mumbai, and unfortunately, I didn't have a lot of time to spend with my Nani, simply because it was very difficult to travel from Mumbai to UP. To get a ticket, it was a challenge, which meant we traveled every year or every alternate year. But I still remember the days. As soon as I used to reach my village in Uttar Pradesh, in Jaunpur, I always waited for my Nana or for my Mama to come and pick up my mother and me and my siblings so that I could go to my Nanihal. Nanihal is the place, or in other words, Nani's ghar. I don't know what it was, but as soon as we reached the village, there was a sense of freedom. Was it because of my Nani? Or was it because there was no one to shout at me, no one to stop me from whatever I wanted to do? I don't have a lot of recollections of my Nani as such, but there are 2 stories I'm going to talk about. One, where I got very, very stubborn. I wanted to eat pakoras. Now, everyone here loves pakoras, right? Nowadays, everyone can get it. If you want it, you get it very easily. But back in those days, it wasn't easy to make pakora if you wanted on the same day. My Nana wasn't a rich man. And I made a decision that morning, I don't know why, as soon as I got up, I wanted to eat pakora. And I was so stubborn, I said, I will not eat anything. My mom tried to convince me, my mommy tried to convince me, my nana tried to convince me, but no, I wasn't going to move. And I didn't eat my breakfast, I didn't eat my lunch. By the time it was evening, I don't know how, but my nani from somewhere got basin and she got onions and she made pakoras for me. And she was so happy as soon as I had my pakora and then my dinner. I can still remember her face smiling and then giving me the pakoras, eat as much as you want. But what I don't know is, how did she get that basin? How did she get that onion? What did she actually sacrifice to get those things? The other story I remember of her is River Yamuna flowed from my village to my nani's village. But unfortunately, we couldn't go into boat from my village to her village. I still today don't know why. But as soon as we went there, the biggest thing for me was to go and swim in River Yamuna. Because we came from Mumbai, everyone was always scared for us. The same way as any kid from UK, if they go to India, you will be taken good care of. Back in those days, it used to be if you went from Mumbai to your village, you will be taken good care of. And villages, rivers can be very, very deep. We used to go and swim there and everyone will stop us from going deep. Fortunately, in my Nanihal, that wasn't the case. It wasn't that deep, which meant that we could swim without anyone around us. But still, it was always don't swim for long when it is very hot, because we used to go in summer and UP can get to 40 degrees. So you don't swim for long in the hot water. But guess what? I swam for 2 hours. And when I came back, I simply slept on the bed under the hot sun. And my nanny tried to wake me up for lunch. I would not wake up. I don't know what had happened that day. My nanny kept trying. I did not wake up at all. I was breathing. By the time it was a bit cooler and sun had got down, it was almost dark, I woke up and I saw my nanny in front of me, the smile on her face. She was so, I could see this, she was scared for me. But as soon as she saw me up, she was happy. That's the pristine love that she always gave to me. The last time I met my nanny was when I got married. Back in those days, women will never travel to their daughter's house, which meant that the only way my wife could have met my nanny was if I visited her. And I went to her home at 9 p.m. in the night. Villages didn't have power that time. They didn't have electric. They didn't have light in those days. And at 9 p.m., most of the people will simply go to bed. We reached there with 10 people, obviously the whole of my family, my dad, my mom, and everyone, at 9 p.m. to her village because I didn't have a lot of time with me. Guess what she does? She hugs me, she hugs my wife, and I felt the selfless, pure love as soon as she hugged me. And I thought, this is the lady I wasn't calling for a very long time either, even when I was in UK. She felt very proud that I was a married man now. I was a successful man. And she cooked dinner for us and we left from there at 1 a.m. next morning. I never met my nanny again. I want to call all of you to go and spend time with your grandparents. Don't be like me. When I tried to find out some information about my nanny, my nana, I have got loads of information about my paternal grandparents, but I never spent time with them, so I don't know them at all. But with my nanny, where there was an opportunity for me to spend some time, get to know her parents, get to know the village that she came from, get to know her brothers and sisters, I know none of them. Even my mother doesn't know them. Like any woman in the 20th century in rural India, my mother got married at the age of probably 15 or 16. And I reckon my nanny, who had 10 kids, she probably got married at the same time. Did she give up her ambitions or her family were her dreams, were her ambitions. Thank you.